had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field.
The enthusiasm for football here on the East Coast always in the air. These folks are ready as their guys get set to match up
with the New York Jets. In the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4.
Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
He's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Dancing to his left. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
An early message that this secondary is going to be tested, because even though it fell incomplete, it almost felt like a warning shot to get things going.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a big play that time by the Jets.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
They'll run on 1st down. Parson, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Play action. It's Wilson. Steps away. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
Opening drive fumble, and the 4 miscues that they had last week. 4 turnovers, Charles. So this is a bad trend.
And Brandon, you and I both know that they didn't just ignore what happened last week. They focused on it, tried to get better. And when it happens here again in this game, the head coach is going to see that as a direct reflection on his message to the team, and it's not sinking in.
Following the fumble recovery, Chambers. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Throwing on first down, Chambers.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Chambers. Flushed out right. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson.
He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Six yards left on second down.
Back to throw. Chambers.
Left side to Lamb.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
And he'll go right back to Lamb. 7 yards the pick up there.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Back to the ground with Gibson.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Mike 46. Mike 46. Pick me up. Here we go. Whip. Watch 19. Tiger. 19. Tiger. Mike 46. I'm here all day.
Looking to throw. Chambers. Quick hitter here. It's complete. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And this has no chance. It's no good. Well wide to the left, and this will remain a scoreless game. So they'll come away with nothing here. A disappointing result even on a day like this.
And as a kicker in the rain, you've got to slow things down a little bit. Give your holder an extra half second to make sure everything's secure. And here, he might have rushed this one a little, and it winds up no good.
on first down. Parson. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. They'll run on first down. Parson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now a give right side. Parson, and not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw going to be caught by Davis. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 12-yard line. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Here's Wilson. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing is Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Looks off the left upright, and it caroms away, no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, it can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Gibson here running out of the gun. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. Back to throw. Chambers. Hard throw, incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a 1st down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On 2nd and 9, Wilson. Open man is Denzel Mims. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half.
It's just 2 minutes warning sta.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They go play action now. Wilson rolling to his left. And he goes out of bounds and looks like right at the 50.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read
Cosa c'è da piangere?
Second read wasn't there, but he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete, nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Wilson. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, second quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted.
He's picked off at his own 47, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that he's keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. And he'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And the Jets are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Here's Wilson. They'll roll him out right to the goal line, but
non ci posso credere.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
Amore. Brava, amore, va a letto.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Clay Brooks to return it. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Buonanotte. Dopo te lo spiego, vai.
At the line and ready to roll. And we'll see how aggressive they want to be in these final stages before the half.
He'll buy some time right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Now that's a dangerous throw right there. Moving off to his right, throwing it all the way back across field to his left. I know he had a lot of confidence in his arm, but sometimes the ball can just hang up there when it goes that distance. He was fortunate it was just incomplete.
Off the play fake. Chambers.
Non ci posso credere.
But it's intercepted.
He's picked off at his own 46. And he's given his guys a shot.
Papà, perché si muovono come squadra.
Will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
Sì, papà.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, coach,
ragazzi, andate a letto, è tardissimo, forza. Anita, a letto. Forza.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Clay Brooks to return it. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Extra point safely through, and that'll make the score 14-0. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Clay Brooks to return it. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On third down, here's Gibson. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Chambers. And he'll complete this to Gibson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Second down and 3.
Coming to you. 46, boys, 46.
Once more, Gibson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's a give to Gibson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a 2nd down and 6.
Hey, you got three down. Under 10.
And quickly to the outside, that's caught by Lamb.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Mike, 4. What we got?
Back to throw. Chambers.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Jamin Davis there to bring him down.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They go play action with Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Finding some room at midfield. He finds some open field here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On 1st down, Parson. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And a short gain down to about the 33.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Check 26.
Now Wilson.
And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Montez Sweat in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will be taken at the 13. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Second and 10.
Off play action. Chambers. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Chambers. It's a first down and more for Gibson. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now a throw here, hauled in. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Washington on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Off the play fake. Chambers. Got a man and he hits him in stride. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 24-yard line. Back to throw again. And yet again, it's McLaurin. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
And these two hooked up on a nice game to play before, and I always admire play callers that see a play that works and go right back to it, so they went right back to him. The reward, they're set up with 1st and goal.
On 1st down, Chambers. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington.
CeeDee Lamb
His second touchdown on the season.
And Washington has made this a one-score game. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fielded right around the 8. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
63 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Parson. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
On the slant, he's got Davis. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 43.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And to give this time to the tailback. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 3rd down, Parson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Parson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by J.C. Horn.
A critical error there and a the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
On 1st and 10, Chambers. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Watch 36 to Mike.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
They'll try to run with Gibson. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. One more time with Gibson. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay?
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jamin Davis. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They just likely won this thing in regulation. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by J.C. Horn. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here. Coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the one.